Have you ever noticed how difficult it is to find the right balance in life? Too much honesty can hurt people. Too little honesty becomes hypocrisy. Too much discipline makes you rigid, and too little makes you lazy. So, what is the right amount? Hello everyone, welcome to our channel, The Indian Soul. I am your friend Shomir. We are following a lecture series on Western philosophy. So let's start it. Today's topic. Around 2300 years ago, a Greek thinker, Aristotle, a student of Plato, gave the perfect answer. Virtue lies in middle. This idea, known as golden means, is the heart of the virtue ethics. And in today's lecture, we will see how Aristotle's ethics helps modern civil servants stay balanced, fair, and human. Aristotle was Plato's student, but he did not live in the clouds of the theory. While Plato dreamed of ideal justice, Aristotle walked the street, observed people, and studied how they actually behave. For Aristotle, ethics was not about the memorizing the right and wrong. It was about the becoming good person through practice. Civil servants too must not just know the code of conduct, they must live it daily in the decision, speech, and action. Aristotle said every human action aims at some good. But what is the highest good? Some say money, some say power, some say pleasure. But all these are temporary. Aristotle called the highest goal is, in his language, eudaimonia, means a flourishing, meaningful life. It is not about being rich or famous. It's about being fulfilled and useful to society. For example, a civil servant refusing a bribe and still sleeping peacefully at night, that is eudaimonia. A doctor worked late to save a life, not for money but for purpose, that is eudaimonia. In modern days, when the UPSC says public service is a noble profession, it echoes the Aristotle. True happiness comes from living virtuously. Aristotle believed no one is born good or bad. He became virtuous by doing good repeatedly until it became a habit. For example, if a officer regularly treats people respectfully, even under stress, respect becomes part of their life, their character. A student who daily set aside time for study eventually becomes disciplined not because of the pressure, but because it's natural. If we think about the UPSC angle, ethics training and case studies aim to build this moral muscle, not just test your theory, but to make virtue a daily practice. The golden mean, the art of balance. Here comes the Aristotle's most famous idea, the golden mean. Every virtue lies between two extremes, too much and too little. Virtue is the right balance, depending on the situation. For example, virtue is courage. Its deficiency means cowardice, and excess means recklessness. And golden mean will be standing firm with reason. Next virtue is generosity. Deficiency is stinginess. Excess is wastefulness. And golden mean will be giving wisely. Next virtue is honesty. Deficiency is silence and excess is harsh bluntness. Golden mean will be truth with empathy. Next virtue is ambition. Deficiency of ambition is laziness and excess of it is greed. So golden means is purposeful striving. So simple analogies, think of salt in food. Too little, tasteless. Too much, spoiled. Virtue is like that. Right proportion makes life good. For civil service, we can put some example like while implementing a rule, too much strictness makes you insensitive. Too much leniency creates disorder. Ethical governance lies in middle, firm but compassionate. Next example, a police officer using necessary force to stop violence but not abusing power. This is the golden means in action. But how do we find golden mean every time? Aristotle said we need phronesis, practical wisdom. It is the skill to choose the right action in the right situation, balancing head and heart. For example, two villagers come to civil servant, one crying for relief, one angry about injustice. Rule says follows the procedure, but wisdom says help first, then process the paperwork. It is phronesis, ethics with judgment. Ethical decision making question test exactly this, your capacity to apply rules with compassion. Ethics and governance. Aristotle said ethics and politics are like two sides of a coin. Good governance is impossible without good character. For example, a policy may look perfect on paper, but if implemented by corrupt people, it fails. Hence, Aristotle emphasized character first, laws second. Integrity, honesty, compassion, these are not soft skills. They are the foundation of a good administration. What do you understand by Aristotle's concept of virtue ethics? Aristotle's virtue ethics teaches that moral excellence is a habit formed by the choosing the right balance, the golden mean, guided by the practical wisdom. So, Aristotle taught us ethics is not about perfection, it is about practice, balance, and good judgment. For a civil servant, it means think with reason, act with compassion, decide with balance. In our next lecture, we will meet Immanuel Kant, who said, right is right, no matter what happens. Get ready to explore duty, reason, and categorical imperative. Thank you.